Bonding the metal band that supports the exterior wall of a pool is an important safety measure. According to the National Electrical Code, all metal parts of a swimming pool need to be bonded together and connected to the electrical system. This bonding creates a low resistance path for any stray electrical current to flow to ground, reducing the risk of electrical shock. The NEC specifies that the bonding wire must be at least an 8-solid copper wire. This wire needs to be connected to the metal band using either a bolted connection or a bonding lug. The other end of the wire should then be connected to the electrical system, specifically at the pump lug. Here's a detailed, step-by-step guide on how to properly bond the metal band to the pump lug. Firstly, and most importantly, shut off the power to the pool pump at the breaker. This is essential for your safety. Secondly, carefully remove the cover from the pump lug. This will give you access to the connection point. Thirdly, take your 8-solid copper wire and connect it securely to the bonding lug on the pump. Fourthly, ensure the wire is firmly attached by tightening the screw on the bonding lug. Fifthly, run the other end of the 8-solid copper wire to the metal band that supports the exterior wall of the pool. Sixthly, connect the wire to the metal band. You can use either a bolted connection or a bonding lug, depending on the setup. Seventhly, tighten the screw on the bolted connection or bonding lug to make sure the wire is securely connected to the band. Eighthly, once you have verified all connections are secure, turn the power back onto the pool pump at the breaker. By adhering to these steps, you are actively contributing to the safety of your swimming pool. Proper bonding, grounding, and wiring techniques reduce the chance of electrical hazards for swimmers. Now, let's dive a bit deeper into the technicalities and reasoning behind each step. Firstly, shutting off the power might seem obvious, but it's an absolutely critical safety precaution. Never work on electrical equipment without first disconnecting the power source. This eliminates the risk of electric shock. Secondly, when removing the pump lug cover, inspect it for any signs of damage. If the cover is cracked or broken, replace it to maintain a weatherproof seal. Thirdly, when connecting the 8-solid copper wire to the bonding lug, make sure the wire is clean and free of corrosion. Use a wire brush to clean the wire if necessary. The connection needs to be electrically sound to provide a low resistance path. Fourthly, when tightening the screw on the bonding lug, apply sufficient torque to ensure a tight connection but avoid over-tightening, which could damage the lug or wire. Use a torque wrench if possible, following the manufacturer's specifications. Fifthly, when running the wire to the metal band, follow the shortest possible path. Avoid sharp bends or kinks in the wire, as these can increase resistance. Secure the wire along its path to prevent it from being damaged or becoming a tripping hazard. Sixthly, when connecting the wire to the metal band using a bolted connection, make sure the surfaces are clean and free of corrosion. Use a star washer under the bolt head and nut to ensure a good electrical connection. When using a bonding lug, make sure the lug is properly sized for the wire and that it is made of a compatible metal. Seventhly, apply sufficient torque to the screw or bolt to ensure a tight connection. Eighthly, and finally, before turning the power back on, double-check all connections to make sure they are secure and that the wiring is properly routed. Also, inspect the area for any tools or debris that may have been left behind. The purpose of bonding is to create an equipotential plane. This means that all metallic parts of the pool and surrounding area are at the same electrical potential. If a fault occurs, such as a live wire coming into contact with a metal part, the current will flow through the bonding system, tripping the circuit breaker and energizing the circuit. Without bonding, a person could come into contact with a metal part that is energized, creating a shock hazard. The 8-solid copper wire is the minimum size required by the NEC. Larger wire may be required in some situations depending on the length of the wire and the size of the electrical service. It is important to consult the NEC and local electrical codes to determine the correct wire size for your application. The NEC also specifies the types of connections that are permitted for bonding. Bolted connections and bonding lugs must be listed and labeled for the purpose. Other types of connections, such as wire nuts, are not permitted. It is important to use the correct type of connection to ensure a safe and reliable bond. Bonding is just one part of a comprehensive electrical safety plan for swimming pools. Other important safety measures include grounding, ground fault circuit interrupters, and proper wiring techniques. It is always recommended to consult with a qualified electrician to ensure that your pool is installed and maintained in accordance with all applicable codes and regulations. Let's talk about grounding for a moment. Grounding provides a path for fault current to return to the source, tripping the circuit breaker. Bonding connects all metal parts together to equalize potential, minimizing the risk of shock. These are distinct but interrelated safety measures. Now, regarding ground fault circuit interrupters or GFCIs. GFCIs are designed to detect small leakage currents and quickly disconnect the power, preventing electric shock. They are required for outlets near swimming pools and other wet locations. Proper wiring techniques are also crucial for electrical safety around swimming pools. All wiring must be installed in accordance with the NEC and local electrical codes. Use the proper type of wiring for the location and protect the wiring from physical damage. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician. Working with electricity can be dangerous, and it is important to take all necessary precautions. Here are some additional tips for electrical safety around swimming pools. Never use electrical appliances near the pool. Keep electrical cords away from the water. Do not swim during thunderstorms. Have your pool electrical system inspected regularly by a qualified electrician. Be aware of the signs of electrical hazards, such as tingling sensations in the water or around metal parts. If you suspect an electrical hazard, immediately turn off the power to the pool and call a qualified electrician. Remember, electrical safety is no accident. Take the necessary precautions to protect yourself and your family. It's also beneficial to understand the relevant sections of the National Electrical Code or NEC. The NEC is a comprehensive set of standards for electrical installations. It is updated every 3 years, so it is important to stay up to date with the latest requirements. Article 680 of the NEC covers electrical safety requirements for swimming pools, spas, and hot tubs. This article includes requirements for bonding, grounding, GFCIs, and wiring. Understanding and following the NEC is essential for ensuring the electrical safety of your swimming pool. Also, consider the materials used for the pool structure. If the pool has any metal components, ensure that they are properly bonded. This includes metal ladders, handrails, and diving board supports. Even small metal parts can pose a shock hazard if they are not properly bonded. Maintenance is also crucial. Regularly inspect the bonding connections and wiring for any signs of corrosion or damage. Replace any damaged parts immediately. Over time, connections can loosen or corrode, reducing their effectiveness. Early detection and repair can prevent potential hazards. Furthermore, consider the surrounding environment. Are there any trees or other vegetation that could come into contact with overhead power lines? Keep trees trimmed back to prevent them from coming into contact with power lines. This is especially important during storms when trees can fall and damage power lines. It is recommended to consult a qualified arborist for advice on tree trimming around power lines. Also, be aware of underground utilities. Before digging near the pool, call your local utility company to locate any underground utilities. Digging into an underground utility can be dangerous and can cause service interruptions. Lastly, educate yourself and others about electrical safety. Talk to your family and friends about the dangers of electricity around swimming pools. Make sure everyone knows how to turn off the power to the pool in an emergency. By working together, we can create a safer environment for everyone. Bonding isn't just for new pool installations. It's also important for existing pools to ensure that the bonding system is in good working order. Over time, the bonding connections can corrode or become loose, which can compromise their effectiveness. It is recommended to have your pool's electrical system inspected periodically by a qualified electrician to ensure that the bonding system is up to code. The electrician can test the resistance of the bonding connections to make sure they are providing a low resistance path for fault current. If any problems are found, the electrician can make the necessary repairs to bring the bonding system up to code. When retrofitting or upgrading an existing pool, it is important to ensure that the bonding system is properly integrated with the new equipment. For example, if you are replacing the pool pump, make sure that the new pump is properly bonded to the existing bonding system. It is also important to consider any changes to the pool structure, such as adding a new deck or patio. These changes may require additional bonding to ensure that all metal parts are properly bonded together. Another important consideration is the type of water that is used in the pool. Saltwater pools can be more corrosive than freshwater pools, which can accelerate the corrosion of bonding connections. If you have a saltwater pool, it is important to inspect the bonding connections more frequently and to use corrosion-resistant materials. You should also consider the use of a sacrificial anode, which can help to protect the bonding system from corrosion. The sacrificial anode is a piece of metal that is more easily corroded than the other metal parts of the bonding system. The anode is connected to the bonding system and will corrode instead of the other metal parts. The anode needs to be replaced periodically as it corrodes away. It is important to choose the right type of sacrificial anode for your pool. The anode should be made of a metal that is compatible with the water chemistry of your pool. A qualified electrician can help you to choose the right type of anode and install it properly. Bonding is not a substitute for proper grounding. Grounding is the connection of the electrical system to the earth, which provides a path for fault current to return to the source. Bonding is the connection of all metal parts of the pool together, which equalizes the electrical potential between them. Both bonding and grounding are necessary for electrical safety around swimming pools. In addition to bonding and grounding, it is also important to use ground fault circuit interrupters or GFCIs for all electrical outlets near the pool. GFCIs are designed to detect small leakage currents and quickly disconnect the power, preventing electric shock. GFCIs should be installed in all electrical outlets within 20 feet of the pool. It is also important to use proper wiring techniques for all electrical wiring near the pool. All wiring should be installed in accordance with the National Electrical Code, and it should be protected from physical damage. Wiring should be installed in conduit, and it should be buried at least 18 inches deep. All electrical connections should be made inside weatherproof junction boxes. Working around electricity near swimming pools can be dangerous. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, it is best to hire a qualified electrician. A qualified electrician can inspect your pool's electrical system and make any necessary repairs to ensure that it is safe. Remember, electrical safety is everyone's responsibility. By following the guidelines outlined in this discussion, you can help to prevent electrical accidents around swimming pools.